Hi guys, so today I want to share another story with you. Today I want to talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County. Kelly Dodd addresses the marriage to new boyfriend Rick Leventhal rumor, plus a quick recap review of last night's episode. Okay, you guys, it's time for an intervention for Kelly. I'm just going to be the first person to say it. I mean, it's time for intervention. Okay, so yesterday she announced on her social media that she was getting her and Rick, her new boyfriend, Rick Leventhal, I believe he's a sports commentator for Fox News, that they were getting married, and they were getting married on October 10th of this year. Very specific, right? Does it sound like a joke? Like, I'm getting married. So the conversation went like this on social media. A fan says, Rick seems much better than the doctor, normal and works for Fox. That's a 10-10 perfection score for me. And Kelly says, that's weird because we're getting married on 10-10-2020. Okay? No laugh emojis, no just kidding. She didn't come back an hour later and say, no, really, guys, I'm just joking. Sounds like she was just saying I'm getting married on 10-10. I mean, very specific. Well, then today she comes back and says, no, they're not getting married. You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like, yeah, you were planning on getting married, Kelly, but when you got the negative backlash for being a nut job, then you wanted to clean it up. Listen, didn't you just meet him? I mean, you were all over Dr. Ryan. He was the perfect one for you until he dumped you a couple weeks ago. And then 2 weeks later, Rick Leventhal's the one for you. This is time for an intervention, people. It's time for an intervention. And then last night, on last night's episode, she told Shannon, my favorite, she told Shannon that she had 2 hours, sex for 2 hours last night with Dr. Reagan. Is that even legal, people? 2 hours? Do you know I would be in the hospital or up in the bed for 2 weeks if I had sex for 2 hours? Not to mention my hip will probably pop out. I'll have to pop it back in. What in the world is going on with Kelly Dodd, people? Is she looking for love in all the wrong places? First of all, she has a criteria. You have to be rich, you have to be older. Gray, silver gray, to be specific. She's marrying Michael all over again. She's looking for another Michael. Now, she told us she was tired of Michael and she needed a younger guy because she wanted to be able to do more things. But then you've only been dating different versions of who? Michael. And then, to make matters worse, we find out while she's having sex for 2 hours, her mom isn't even around to set up the intervention because these two haven't spoken in 2 years. I give up on Kelly Dodd. I worry about Kelly Dodd. I'm not even kidding. But not enough to keep talking about her. Let's move on to the rest of the castmates and what they did on last night's episode. I mean, if she can't save herself, then I can't save you. Let's move on. Next, let's talk about Tamra Judge. Since we're talking about nut jobs, let's get all the nut jobs out the way first. Okay, so last night, Tamra wanted her do-over baby, you know, the one that I like, Spencer. She wanted her do-over baby to apologize to her psycho baby, possibly a GED holder. I'm really thinking that Ryan has a GED. I will find it hard to believe that he graduated high school. But anyway, she wanted Simpson to apologize to Ryan for not calling him a Nazi. See what I mean? Nut jobs, no comment. I have no comment on that situation. All I would say is there should be some kind of punishment for women that raise nut jobs and put them out in the world for us to deal with. This should be illegal, but so far she's getting off scot-free. Let's move on. The next nut job, I hate to do it to you, Emily, but I'm going to have to put you on the nut job list. I like you a lot, but anybody that puts up with that little gnat that goes by the nickname Shane, well, they must have a screw loose. I mean, you married him. So in last night's episode, he continued to ignore her. I mean, it's getting torturous to watch. He won't even go to her little sexy dance gig that she's going to have in Vegas. I mean, he can't even make that. So now we have to watch her masturbate on the stage like that's going to be enjoyable. I mean, I feel sorry for you, Emily. I really like you, but anybody who marries that gnat must have a screw loose. Now let's move on. So then I have to go ahead and put one more person on the nut job list. I feel bad doing it because, she's new. I mean, you don't want to talk trash about the new people just yet. I mean, until, she showed nut job tendencies. So in last night's episode, she was talking to her mother. Her mother brought her around somebody in her family that she didn't want her children around. And she's talking to the mom, and the mom just kind of like being aloof, and then just turns her head and says, look, there's a bee over there, totally ignoring her. Now this right here, if that was my mom, this would be a serious issue. I'd start yelling like, I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to you about something important, and I'm talking about my damn kids. What does the new girl do to get her on my nut job list? She starts crying. I just crawl into myself. Listen, you better find your voice, woman, especially when it comes to your children. So thank God she went back for a take two and said, listen, you ignore me when I'm trying to talk to you. Now, her mom, by the way, who I call Betsy Johnson, I'm loving the mom. But why are you so mean to Bronwyn? Because she lets you do it? I mean, you did apologize, but that's kind of mean, treating your daughter like, she doesn't matter. And then there was Gina Ubering all over town because she has a DUI. And then Shannon invites everyone, including Vicky, to some kind of health resort in Arizona. This is going to be amazing. I'm not going to miss next week's episode. But that's my quick review on what happened this week on The Real Housewives of Orange County. So what I want to know in my comment section today is, who thinks that Kelly Dodd has finally found true love? Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button if you haven't already. Until next time, talk to you then. Bye.